in their attainments, and then the other beings who are also liberated from samsara. So they liberated from samsara, they attained the sarvaka bodhi or liberation because they have practiced Buddha Dharma a lot. So we must rejoice. It is not looked down, we shouldn't look down upon Theravada liberated beings and so forth. We must rejoice, even though they are not fully enlightened, even though they are not Buddhas, even though they are not Bodhisattvas. We still should rejoice about their attainments. Understand? Clear? Now he says here, Kyobanam ki changjutan yese sara yeramos. Kyobanam ki changjutan yese salang yeramos. Simchen tamche dezebe tuke gyawa gyazotan simchen pepa zavara gyawe jesuiramos. How can I be surely freed from unwholesomeness, the source of misery? Huh? We are there, right? Sorry? I'm sorry. I rejoice in the awakening of the Buddhas. I rejoice in the awakening of Buddhas and also in the spiritual levels of their children. Spiritual level their children. And with gladness I rejoice in the ocean of virtue for developing an awakening mind that wishes all beings to be happy, as well as in the deeds that bring them benefit. Oh, I was reading this one, right? Okay. Now I also rejoice, right? I also rejoice at the resolutions of the teachers, which are oceans bearing happiness to every being, bestowing well-being on all creatures. That's all creatures, right? So here he said, Chopanam ji Changjutans. Here, when he talk about Buddha, that is full enlightenment. In other words, Buddhahood. Okay, and then he rejoiced in that also, and he also rejoiced in the paths of the Bodhisattvas, the sons of Buddhas. Bodhisattvas. Who are they? You remember? Okay, great. Wonderful. And then I rejoice in them. And then who are they? They are the ones who bring happiness to all sentient beings. They are the ones who have generated a great ocean-like benefiting thought for all sentient beings. I rejoice in them. That's what he says here. Okay. So in fact, he is rejoicing in bodhicitta, and then the practice of bodhisattvas. There are 10 grounds, 5 paths. So he is indicating all these paths and 10 grounds. Then Chonam Kungi Sanjela Temu Jarte Sovani Senjen Dungi Mundomla Chigi de Me Partusers. The holding my hands together in reverence, what is that? Beseech the perfect, what is beseech? I forgot. The other day also we heard this word, right? Request. I visit the perfect Buddhas in every direction. Oh yeah. Set up the light of the Dharma for those falling into suffering in the darkness of delusion. How can I be shown? No. Fire. With folded hands, alright, I visit the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. So here, so you remember that all the practice of Buddha Dharma is can be summarized in 7 limbs of practice, right? So, in 7 limbs of practice, prostration, offering, compassion, finish. That we have done, right? Now we have to make a request. We have to invoke Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to turn the Dharma wheel. We have to make a request. We have to make Dharma. So here, that practice, sort of you say, with the four-handed, I would like to make a request to all the Buddhas in 10 directions to what is it?
To set up the lights of the Dharma for those falling.
Oh, to set up the lights, to set up the lights of Dharma for the sentient beings who are in the dark, who can't see, who can't see, who are in the dark. That means who are suffering from ignorance. Who are in the dark means who are suffering from ignorance, because we are ignorant. We don't know what is good for us. We don't know what is bad for us. We are as we discussed earlier, that we want happiness, but we destroy our happiness as they are our enemies. We don't want suffering, but we are running towards suffering very fast. So that is why we are ignorant. So we need the light to destroy the darkness of ignorance. So we request all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to light up the Dharma lamp to clear the darkness. Then that is making request to turn the Dharma wheel, okay, through Buddha and Bodhisattva, whatever. And then out of 7 limbs practice, then we must make a request to the Buddhas and to the Buddhas that to live, don't how do you say, don't go into nirvana. In ordinary words, don't die, live with us. We must make request. So there is Javan Yangi, they say that Temos and so on, draw the noble migrations, draw the noble migrating. Okay, 5. Holding my hands together in reverence, right?
Yes.
Holding my hands together in reverence, I implore the conquerors who wish to leave cyclic existence, remain for endless eons. Do not let this world become blind. Oh, this is a little bit. Anyway, 6. With folded hands, I beseech the conquerors who wish to pass away to please remain for countless eons and not to leave the world in darkness. So that you understand, okay? Now we can go to the next verse. And then this is also, I think, we can explain as a dedication. You know, now that is another one of the 7 limbs practice, dedication. So with the good acquired by doing all this as described, may I allay all the suffering of every living being. Okay. Thus, by the virtue collected through all that I have done, may the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. So, you have accumulated merit by prostration, by making offerings to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and so forth, and then making compassion, and then what do? You're making requests to turn the Dharma wheel, and then making requests to live for countless eons for the sake of sentient beings. So you have done this, you have practiced all these, and then you have accumulated merit, and now you should dedicate that merit. Means that I have done all these actions, good actions, and I have accumulated big amount of merit, and I dedicate this merit to clear out all the sufferings of all sentient beings. So that is dedication, you know. So you must dedicate whatever you do, any kinds of Dharma practice you do. At the end, you know that 2 actions we discussed every day. So at the end, dedication and prayer. So dedication. If you don't dedicate your merit, then it can go waste. It can go waste. So you must dedicate. So if your dedication is bigger, then the result would be bigger. If your dedication is limited, the result will be also limited. So that is very. So therefore, this is about the Bodhisattva's way of life. So the dedication, offering whatever, that cannot not be limited. But otherwise also our dedication should be very vast. It shouldn't be very limited. So that is dedication. And then he dedicates, here he dedicates his actions for the sick people, you know, sick beings, the patients. So that is, may I be the, that's by the virtue of collected? No.
It is correct. May I be the doctor?
May I be the doctor, the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. The seventh, thank you. The other translation, I am medicine for the sick. May I be both the doctor and their nurse until the sickness does not recur. So here he is dedicating, and also he is making the prayer, he is making the wish. So Bodhisattvas, they always think about other sentient beings, and they would like to do anything for they would like to do anything to remove all kinds of sufferings of all sentient beings. So their wishes and their prayers are like this, There many of the wishes of Bodhisattvas, they cannot come true, because it can, even if they are Bodhisattvas, but they are still in the, they still have to follow the system of cause and effect, karmic system. So like he said, let me turn into medicine and give it that benefit the sick person. It is impossible. You cannot become a medicine. But their courage is like that, their wish is like that, because they are fully dedicated for others. So they want to be like, they may be in this book also, Bodhisattvas, they wish that they become bridges for the people who want to cross the river. They want to become horses for the people who need to ride, and then all this kind of wishes, because that is out of their courage and that is out of their dedication for other sentient beings. So there are many wishes of Bodhisattvas that can come, they cannot come true, but realize, that cannot materialize. But still this is their courage they want to make. They really want to become like that, for to help others. So here also he is willing to become medicine, if some kind of medicine that is needed for that patient, and then doctor, and then nurse, if somebody needs nurse, helpers, and so forth. And then people who are thirsty, so to quench their thirsty, he make wishes, he make prayers, and that is 9. May I rain of food and drink descend, to clear away the pain of thirst and hunger, and during the eon of famine, may I myself change into food and drink. 9. 8, it should be 8. May I avert the pain of hunger and thirst with showers of food and drink. May I become both drink and food in the intermediate eons of famine. And then, for the poor people, he wished to be the wealth for the poor people, Sanjay Pongshi Uwala, Danin Bise, Terry Tute, Yunje Gugu, not also do the never nature cakes. and that is, may I be an inexhaustible treasure for impoverished beings. May I wait upon them with various forms of offering. Or various forms of offering. Offering, okay. May I be may I become an inexhaustible treasure for those who are poor and destitute. May I turn into all things they could need and be placed close beside them. So this also you understand. Easy to understand, right? V.15 어제도 대성계와 탐제장 생제꾼이 되도록 방법을 받아온. Without any sense of loss, I shall give up my body and enjoyments as well as all my virtues of the 3 times for the sake of benefiting all. And see, I give up, right?
Yes.
See, I give up without regret my bodies, my pleasure, and my good acquired in all 3 times to accomplish good for every being. So he is willing to give up everything for all sentient beings, his body, his wealth, and then all the actions, the virtuous actions of 3 times. That means past time, present time, and future time. Then so here he is going to explain that why we should give up everything for others. 탐제 따로 양념도 나로 양념 never do. 탐제 땅을 채찍는 심재는 땅을 쳐. That is 11, right? Abandonment of all is abandonment of all is enlightenment, and enlightenment is my heart's goal. If I must give up everything, better it be given to sentient beings. By giving up all, sorrow is transcended, and my mind will realize the sorrowless state. It is best that I give everything to all beings in the same way as I shall. So in the bracket he said at the death, that's right. So that becomes clearer, if you give up everything for sentient beings, then you will be fully enlightened, and that is what you want. That is what you wish for, right? And anyway, you have to give up. One day you have to give up everything you earn, like your wealth, your fame, your body, everything you earned, you possess, you have to give up. So if you give up them for the sake of all sentient beings, that is the supreme action. That the other one, you have no choice but to give them up. But then there is no result for you. There is no return. Here, you are giving up for everything, but there will be a great return. That is enlightenment, right? Dagi Lucian Tanga Lady Sin Tea, Tao to set on the decks of Chica Chella. So I make over this body to all embodied beings to do with as they please. Let them continue to beat it, insult it, and splatter it with filth. Having given this body up for the pleasure of all living beings, by killing, abusing, and beating it, may they always do as they please. Then you understand. So now that we do not say so to Kashi to the language, they cut it. So, now I must read this. Let them play with my body. Let them beat it. What is this?
Derisive.
What does it mean?
Insulting.
Derisive and amuse themselves. I have given this body to them. What point has this concern of mine? Although they may play with my body and make it a source of jest and reproach, because I have given it up to them, what is the use of holding it dear? Okay, then they'll never be given a name, but they'll mean the number, and remember you is. 16. 14. Okay. Let them have me do whatever brings them pleasure. Let there never be harm to anyone on account of me. Should their mind become angry or... Oh no. So up to here, let's see. Okay. So this, let them have me do whatever brings them pleasure. Let there never be harm to anyone on account of me. Right? On account of me. Therefore I shall, right?
Yes.
Therefore I shall let them do anything to it that does not cause them any harm. And when anyone encounters me, may it never be meaningless for them. You understand? So, you have given up, in other words, you have offered your body, speech, mind to others. So when you are given them to them, then now they are the owner, so they can do whatever they would like to do. Beat you up, defame you, whatever. But then there is a question, so whether you should let them do it or not. Because by doing so, like beating or hitting you, beating you up, or defaming you out of their anger, out of bad motivation, then they accumulate bad action, demerit. So should you let them collect bad actions or not? That is the question. So you have to be very skillful. Although you are fully dedicated, you are fully yourself offered to them, still you should be skillful, because if they kill you, then if they kill you, that is a huge negative karma. So you remember the Buddha's story, that when Buddha Jataka, Jataka's story, that Buddha, when he was Bodhisattva, practicing Bodhisattva way of life, one of those days, he took many different forms, and one of those days he killed one person in order to save. You remember that story? In order to save those 500 business people in the boat, in the ship maybe rather, I don't know. So, so that is he committed a bad action. That killing action cannot be considered a good action. But he did it with great compassion and love. Not only to save the 500 lives, but also save this guy killing 500 business people with him, so that he can